moving furniture with my bottom. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and I convinced my husband to come on. Some have asked for it, so we're gonna go through his manga haul, and if you want another one, comment below, and if you want a complete collection of manga, comment below and let us know you'd be interested in that. But we're gonna start with what he hauled for November, right?
Yeah, November.
November, okay. And this is Drew, by the way.
Starting out with Beastars, volume 7, 8, and 9.
So the fun part of this video is you're gonna get to see me, who doesn't know what some of these things are about, guess what they're about, and then he'll tell you what they're really about. So that's the funny part. I actually watched Beastars first season with him, and so it's kind of like Zootopia, but with more adult themes. So it's like the carnivores, not against the herbivores, but there's drama between the two because obvious reasons.
It's about more like the carnivores having to live in an herbivore's world.
Yeah.
And the questions that come up: is it okay to eat meat if you're living among the meat?
Yeah.
Up next, we have Volume 6 of Berserk's Deluxe Edition. Each of these contains 3 volumes of the manga. Let's have Hope tell us what she thinks it's about.
I have no idea. And the sad part is he's told me several times what this is about. I don't remember. Why don't you tell them what it's about?
So, Berserk is about a character named Guts, who had a tragic life growing up, was basically born into a mercenary troop and forced to fight, and it's all that he really knows is fighting and being a hired soldier, if you will, and it's just about the turmoil caused by being a mercenary for his entire life, and the relationships he's built and lost because of it.
It looks bloody on me.
It's very bloody and gory. It's very bloody and gory.
Not child approved.
No. Next up is Blood on the Tracks, Volume 3.
Okay, so this one is a psychological thriller, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the relationship between a boy and his mom. I've listened.
She nailed it. It's a psychological horror, thriller even, and it really focuses on the relationship between the mother and her son, and very Norman Bates, very weird, very creepy, makes you very uncomfortable while reading, but very solid read. In fact, actually, there's not a lot of dialogue. Most of the story is told through the visuals, which are just spot on.
Cool.
This one's a fan favorite right now, very popular. Demon Slayer, the movie in Japan, actually right now just became the second highest grossing movie of all time in Japan, which is very incredible considering coronavirus right now. They actually have limited seating, didn't it beat Titanic? Yeah, beat Titanic.
We've watched 4 episodes together? Okay, so this one is about a boy right? He's young. Yeah. So a boy whose family gets murdered by demons, except his sister, who gets turned into one, and it's his quest to make her human again. And it's very bloody, and it's awesome, and I love it. What volume is that?
This is volume 18. This is towards the end. There are, I think, 26, 25 or 26 volumes in total. I've actually finished this already through the Shonen Jump app. It's
highly recommend.
Highly recommend. $2 a month. A lot of manga you can read.
Not at all sponsored.
Not at all
sponsored. If you want, hit me up.
Yeah, it's incredible. Honestly, it deserves all the hype that it's earned. One of the best shonen manga to come out of Shonen Jump in a long time. Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. Hope actually kind of already knows this one.
So I read them.
She's actually read them, so
I love them.
She kind of gets a pass on this one.
Yeah, I love this one. So I'm gonna see if I can remember, since I read them a little bit ago and I read a lot. Okay, so basically, this girl and this boy meet, and she likes to make fun of him a lot. She's very sarcastic. Would that be the right word?
Mean.
And mean. We're gonna go with mean. I was trying to be nice. So she's very mean, and it's amazing, and I just love their chemistry. And her friends, though, I don't want to spoil anything, but her friends, I hate them. Just throwing that out there. Yeah. If you read it, you'll hate them too.
Yeah, Nagatoro, she's just straight up mean to the main character. She bullies him. I think the actual title, if you fully translate it properly, I think it's Please Don't Bully Me, Miss Nagatoro. I think it actually got, I guess, kind of censored here.
Fair.
But she does bully him the whole time, but she's really just trying to get his affection. It's pretty apparent from the first chapter. Yeah, she definitely likes him, and he's kind of oblivious to it. It's very sweet. If you're wanting it for the actual relationship, you'll be in it for the long haul because it's very popular right now, and there's probably no end in sight.
Okay, so one question I got from my video saying, we called manga and they want to see it, they were asking me, where does somebody who's new to manga, like myself when I started, start? So what I was telling them was I started with Erased, which I love. I've never actually read the manga, but I've seen the anime, and that got me into the whole culture. And like, what manga would you recommend for a newbie?
It really kind of depends on what you like. If you like kind of horror and action, I really recommend Demon Slayer. It's very good. I'll pull it down.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer, excellent choice for a first manga. Again, very popular right now.
And bloody.
Very gory, yeah, but it's totally worth the read. And it's relatively short compared to a lot of shonen mangas. They can go on for a very long time, but this ended at the peak of its popularity, and really could have kept going, but the writer decided that he was done with the story, and it ended very well. It's one of the ones that's actually completed. And I have a couple other recommendations. This is the box set of A Silent Voice. I've actually had this for a little while now, so I won't be hauling it today, but see, it's only 7 volumes. Very short, very sweet. This actually happens to be my favorite film, if you'd rather watch it in a very condensed form that hits all the main points very well. The movie is absolutely phenomenal. It's on Netflix. Worth the watch. But this is one of the best gateway manga or anime to get into at all. It's just an all-around fantastic read, all-around fantastic movie as well.
So the other question that I have, because you just made me think of it, was, you know how people who read always say the book's better than the movie? Do you think that's true of manga, or do you think it's really hit or miss depending on who does the movies?
Really depends on the adaptation.
So kind of the same.
Yeah, there are things I like a lot more in, for instance, A Silent Voice that the manga does. I think they're able to touch on a lot more things because it's 7 volumes compared to a 2-hour movie, but
right.
I feel like the movie has some excellent sound design that really lends itself to a story about, a young deaf girl. It really kind of enriches the movie and enriches the story that you can't get out of a book, but the book is able to touch on a lot of things that the movie just doesn't have time to.
The cinematography is really good in that movie too.
Yeah, excellent. Animation is top notch.
Animation, yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Animation is top notch.
Yeah.
Full Metal Alchemist. This is probably the #1 gateway anime or manga to get started on. It's been around for a long time now. Anime and non-anime fans really kind of agree. This show and manga is really only rivaled by the likes of like Avatar: The Last Airbender in terms of world building and storytelling. So what is it about?
Okay, so I've only watched 12 episodes?
Maybe.
So, of Brotherhood,
6.
there's 2 apparently. I'll let him explain that some other time. But this one's about 2 brothers who lose their bodies because magic has a cost. Alchemy has a cost? Oh, because alchemy has a cost, and there's a balance to everything. I'm gonna leave it at that because it makes it mysterious and whatnot.
So basically, there's a hard magic system called alchemy, which is very common in storytelling. But basically, it's a form of science that allows you to turn one material into another. The greatest taboo for alchemists is trying to bring back the dead. You're not supposed to, and it comes at a cost when the brothers lose their mother and they try to bring her back. They end up paying with Alphonse, the younger brother, his entire body, and Edward with his arm, and he ends up trading his leg to get his brother's soul back, and attaches it to a suit of armor. And the story is really mostly about them trying to get their bodies back and realizing that they can't ever have their mother back. And it's one of the best things about this book is there's permadeath. A lot of times in manga and anime, characters die and they just come back. From the very get-go, you were told if you're dead, that's it. You're dead. You're out.
Game over.
Game over. Yeah, game over, man. But there's a whole lot more going on to it. I cannot recommend this enough. And these are the full metal editions of these books.
They're beautiful.
They're very, very nice.
I like the sides.
Really, yeah, the sides are really nice.
They look really nice on the shelf.
Look nice on the shelf. Couldn't recommend these more. Definitely the best starting point for anyone looking to get into anime and manga. Gigant Volume 3. This is something that I've just gotten into recently. These books are very good. It's done by the creator of Dance. So yeah, definitely. This is definitely not for kids. This is definitely an adult book. A lot of adult themes. Hope's gonna try to explain.
So other than her glorious pink hair, which I'm freaking jealous of, it's about a girl who can grow like giant, right? Like, no?
Yes, it's in there, but no.
That's all I remember.
Okay.
I remember there's lots of adult content.
Yeah. So the main character is a high school student, and he has a favorite porn star called Papiko.
That's this one.
And she is the porn star. He meets her because she actually moves into his neighborhood, and he happens to run into her, and they kind of like become friends. He was very nice to her when she needed somebody to be nice. She needed a friend. He was very nice to her. And later on, they actually start dating. But during that time, she meets this kind of weird dude who dies in front of her and tells her that she's the only chance left, and attaches something to her wrist. She finds out she can grow to really titanic sizes. Helzing Deluxe Edition, Volume 2. Helzing is pretty neat. It's pretty popular. The anime was definitely pretty popular. I had never really read any of the manga before, so I'm jumping in with the collector's editions.
Don't remember. I feel like there's a demon. No, I got the wrong one. I don't know.
So this is about Helzing, as in Von Helsing.
Oh!
Yeah, so you're probably seeing where this is going. The vampire Alucard has been serving the family of Helzing for years and years now. And it is about Alucard and Helzing fighting against the Nazi vampires that are trying to take over what Hitler did in the 40s, but it's the 90s now. Ecchi is an important part of manga, at least in my opinion. So this is High School of the Dead, Volume 1, full color edition. You can figure out what it's about.
Okay, he's told me this one too. I just don't listen well. So, this one... Okay, so this one is in full color. I know that much. It is about girls in high school. Am I getting there?
Can you tell me?
Okay, it's not helping at all. So girls in high school who fight zombies? Or is it vampires?
Kind of. It is zombies. So, what it really is a zombie apocalypse happens.
That's cool.
And it follows a couple of high schoolers.
Girls.
Not just girls.
Oh, okay.
The main character is a male.
I just assumed.
And there's another male that does tag along with them.
On the back?
No, I don't want to look through it either. Not on camera.
That's fine.
It follows them as they just try to survive. The main thing I hauled this month was JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and I got parts 1, 2, 3, and all that's out of 4 right now. And Hope's gonna try to tell you what they're about by looking at the covers.
He's told me before again, so I'm cheating a little bit. But Jonathan Joestar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jonathan Joestar goes on bizarre adventures with people because of an evil stepbrother. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, yeah, the artwork on these books is really good. Araki is
they're beautiful.
One of my favorite artists. He's actually the only mangaka to ever have his artwork in the Louvre, which is a pretty substantial feat.
That's cool.
But yeah, Jonathan has kind of an evil stepbrother named Dio, after Ronnie James Dio of Rainbow and Black Sabbath. He becomes a vampire, and it takes place in England in the 1800s, so it's an 1800s vampire story. And it's about Jonathan learning the ability called Hamon, which is harnessing the power of light from Zeppeli. And they go basically on a quest to stop Dio before he kind of takes over all of England. Really, the standout character in this book has got to be Robert E.O. Speedwagon. He is absolutely the best character.
With the coolest name.
With the coolest name, obviously. R.E.O. Speedwagon's fantastic. Part 2, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. This is really where the story kind of tends to take shape. When I watched it back, I guess probably about 2 years ago now, it was my favorite part that I had seen really up until I was about halfway through part 4. This follows a new hero named Joseph Joestar, who is Jonathan's grandson. Yeah, and I'm going to let Hope kind of tell you what this story is about, or what she thinks it's about.
Can you at least tell me what era this takes place?
Yeah, so I think this is like the 1920s.
That's what I was going to guess.
Yeah,
okay,
I
cool.
think it's around the 1920s.
I was going to guess that. Cool. So, what was his name again? Joseph? Okay. So, Joseph, once again, the character goes on, a new character, goes on bizarre adventures. I'm guessing with some kind of rock star name person.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's all I got.
Yeah, so basically, part 2 follows Joseph, who is really the antithesis to what Jonathan's character was. Joseph is kind of rude and crass and very funny. You know, he's really more just about having a good time. He's a natural-born hormone user. He doesn't have to learn it. He just knows it. But there really aren't any more vampires. There's a couple here and there. He's kind of trying to take them down. But what's kind of happened is Robert E.O. Speedwagon has set up a foundation to help fight against the vampires, and enlists the help of Joseph when he learns of 3 new villains who have been released. AC/DC, who is named after AC/DC. There is Cars, named after Cars, and Wamu, who is Wham.
I didn't get that one.
Very, very interesting names, of course. This is really where JoJo's Bizarre Adventure becomes its own thing.
Okay, so I don't know what this one's about, honestly.
Take a stab at it.
You said the other tab. Okay. You said 80s.
Yep. Part 3 follows Tarukujo. He is Jonathan's grandson. He's very stoic, no nonsense kind of guy. He likes his coat. He likes his cigarettes. You know, he's your average ruffian high school boy. You know, he just likes fighting. But he finds out he has this weird, he calls it evil spirit possessing him, which he comes to find out is actually his stand. And that is why a lot of people love Part 3. It is the introduction of stands, which is the main combat in the JoJo's universe. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4 is definitely one of the more divisive stories in the entire franchise. It actually happens to be my favorite, with, again, a new JoJo and a returning JoJo or two. See if you can tell us what it's about.
So is this where you'd recommend me start?
This is where I would recommend most people start.
So you said the 90s. Another descendant of Jonathan going on less bizarre adventures, because you said he goes on less adventures. No? Are they still bizarre at least?
They are more bizarre here than I think they've ever been.
So more bizarre but less traveling. Okay.
So, this actually all takes place in one Japanese town, and it's a murder mystery.
So now we have Komi Can't Communicate, which I have read all but the last 3, and this is volume 9. So this is about a girl who suffers from like social anxiety, I guess is what you would call it. She doesn't really communicate well, hence she can't communicate. There's this boy Tanado who kind of helps her make friends and find friends, even though she has this communication problem. Super sweet, slice of life, highly recommend.
Yeah, basically she wants to make 100 friends, and she can't talk to people. She's not fully mute, but she basically, for all intents and purposes, is mute. No Gun's Life has been one of my favorite series I've gotten into this past month. I picked it up because I thought it looked cool, and I ended up really kind of falling in love with it.
Okay, so this one is a volume 7, but the whole story is about a guy who has a gun for, well, it's a pistol, right?
It's a gun.
Okay, it's a revolver. That's the word I was looking for. So he has a revolver for a head, obviously, and he...
So in this universe, there was a war a few years before, and he was one of the GSU models. They're ridiculously powerful, but only if they have a user. He's meant to be used, but he kind of has his own personality, which is a little bit unique to the GSU models, like himself. They call them overextended because every bit of his body is augmented. So really, it's kind of more about him understanding people, because a child kind of falls into his life, an older child, he's like 13 or 14, and he kind of has to fill that fatherly role for this child. It's something that he doesn't understand how to do. Rent-A-Girlfriend is probably my favorite slice of life romantic comedy that I've gotten into over the past really year. It's super cute, awesome fun, and I've really enjoyed this one, and Hope actually knows what it's all about because we binged the anime over the course of 2 days.
And the manga in like a day.
Yeah.
So yeah, cheating again because I've read and loved this one. Okay, so Kazuma gets broken up with by mommy, and he's really sad, really lonely, and they have this service called Rent-A-Girlfriend where Mizuhara works, and they end up meeting obviously for a date, and she's super nice, super friendly, and then, you know, keeps hiring her for these fake dates because of a situation that they get themselves into.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, yeah, really, they kind of dig themselves into a hole, and every time they try to dig themselves out, they just get deeper, and it's really cute. Spy Family is one of the more sneaky books to kind of sneak up on me, pun intended. It's really wholesome. I really kind of fell in love with these books. Very cute, very fun. And let's see if Hope can nail the premise just by the name.
By the name?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was going to do it based on your review of the first one. This is volume 2. We held one last month. So, this little girl can read minds, right? She's clairvoyant. And this spy has to, adopt her, quote unquote, for a mission. And there's also a woman, but I don't remember how she ties in. And she is actually an assassin?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, you nailed it. His mission is to get into a highly prestigious preschool to try to get intelligence from an enemy leader. I don't want to be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the first time we actually got the Transformers manga here in America legally. Pretty sure this follows the story of the 1984 anime. I don't know if Hope knows anything about Transformers other than the Michael Bay movies.
So yeah, Transformers is about cars that turn into mechas.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's really in a nutshell. It really is. They come from a planet called Cybertron, and the Decepticons, who are the bad guys, you got like Megatron over here. They're looking for Energon to help fight the Autobots. Finally, my last 3 books that I've hauled for November will be books 5, 6, and 7 of Finland Saga.
So yeah, this is about Vikings. I got it that time. I remembered. I knew it was one of them. It's gonna be the last one. I should have known.
The first 4 books, which are not these, are definitely just about Vikings, and it's really cool. But then
these branch, like you said.
Yeah, this really branches off. There's a brief time skip, and everything is different.
So thanks so much for watching. If you liked this nonsense of him holding all these books, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you want to see more content from me, and if you want more husband hauls, comment below so you can see some more of this craziness. This isn't even all of them. So yeah, thanks so much. Have a great night.
I also collect games. If you want to see some cool video games, comment below. I'll show you the video game collection. It's actually a lot neater.
Enough said. Bye guys.